Look around you for a moment. The screen in front of you. The faint sounds outside your window. The distant hum of a city that never seems to sleep. Somewhere right now, billions of people are laughing, arguing, eating dinner, getting married, boarding planes, and making plans for tomorrow. Humanity feels permanent. It feels too big to fail. But imagine waking up tomorrow morning and discovering something impossible. Every other human being on Earth is gone. Not dead, not hiding, not evacuated. Gone. No bodies, no messages, no explanation. Just you, the last human alive. At first, you probably wouldn't realize it. Your phone would still work. The internet would still be online. Automated systems would still be running. You might send messages, make calls, check social media. Nobody answers. You drive outside expecting to find traffic. The roads are empty. Airports stand silent. Trains sit motionless on their tracks. Every city on Earth has become a museum with no visitors. The first day would feel less like an apocalypse and more like a mistake, a strange glitch in reality. Then night arrives. For the first time in history, there is not a single conversation happening anywhere on Earth except the one inside your own head. Every apartment building is silent. Every school is silent. Every hospital is silent. Every prison is silent. 8 billion voices disappear in a single day. The silence would be so complete that it would almost feel loud. Humans evolved surrounded by other humans. For hundreds of thousands of years, there was never a moment when one person stood entirely alone. Even our ancient ancestors lived in tribes. Solitude on this scale is something the human brain was never designed to experience. The loneliness would arrive slowly, not after a day, not after a week, but eventually. Because every achievement, every joke, every memory, and every dream suddenly loses its audience. Yet the planet itself would barely notice. The sun still rises, rain still falls, rivers still flow toward the sea. Nature does not stop because humanity disappears. In fact, it begins recovering almost immediately. Pets escape homes, dogs form packs, cats become hunters again. Zoo animals either starve or break free. Across the world, millions of creatures suddenly inherit a planet that no longer belongs to us. The first major problem arrives after a few weeks. Electricity. Modern civilization depends on constant maintenance. Power plants require workers. Fuel needs transportation. Systems need supervision. One by one, electrical grids begin failing. Entire regions go dark. Cities that once glowed brightly enough to be seen from space vanish into darkness. By a few months, most of the world is black at night. The stars return. Imagine standing in the middle of a city like never before. No headlights, no advertisements, no office lights, just darkness and a sky crowded with stars hidden for generations. Beautiful, purification plants shut down. Skyscrapers become uninhabitable. Elevators freeze forever between floors. Subways flood. Roads crack. Grass pushes through concrete. Civilization begins to dissolve not with explosions, but with neglect. The world doesn't collapse. It simply stops being maintained. A year passes. You are now the only witness to a planet changing faster than any human civilization ever has. Forests creep into suburbs. Deer wander through shopping malls. Wolves move through abandoned streets. Birds nest inside airports. Nature advances 1 meter at a time, reclaiming territory it lost centuries ago. The greatest empire Earth has ever known starts disappearing almost immediately. This reveals something uncomfortable. We like to imagine humanity as the ruler of Earth, but in reality, our dominance depends on constant effort. Stop mowing a lawn and nature returns. Stop repairing a building and decay begins. Stop maintaining civilization and the planet quietly takes it back. 5 years pass. Many nuclear reactors have safely shut down automatically. Some have not. In a few places, disasters unfold with nobody present to stop them. Yet even these scars eventually become part of the landscape. Forests grow around them. Animals adapt. Life continues. It always does. 50 years pass. Most houses are collapsing. Glass shatters. Roofs cave in. Rust consumes steel. Entire neighborhoods vanish beneath vegetation. If someone from our time could visit, they would barely recognize the world. Human civilization would already feel ancient. 200 years pass. Trees grow through skyscrapers. Roads disappear beneath forests. Dams fail. Rivers carve new paths. Coastlines shift. Cities become strange artificial mountains covered in green. Somewhere beneath roots and soil lie the remains of restaurants, theatres, stadiums, and homes. The stories are gone. Only the structures remain. 1,000 years pass. Most evidence of your existence has vanished. Wooden buildings have rotted away. Metal has corroded. Books have decomposed. Languages are extinct. Nations are forgotten. Every argument, every celebrity, every trend, every political movement that once seemed important has disappeared. Humanity survives mostly as fragments buried underground. This is the point where the story stops being about civilization and starts being about time. Because time is undefeated. It crushes mountains. It moves continents. It erases oceans. And it is extraordinarily good at deleting things that once seemed permanent. 10,000 years pass. The pyramids still stand. A few monuments remain. Massive stone structures continue resisting the centuries, but almost everything else is gone. The planet has largely healed. Forests stretch across former nations. Wildlife thrives. Earth no longer looks like a human world. It looks like a world that briefly experienced humans. 1,000,000 years pass. Even the most durable traces of civilization are fading. Future intelligent creatures, if any ever evolve, might find strange fossils. Plastic fragments, buried concrete, unusual concentrations of metals, evidence that something extraordinary once happened here. Evidence that a species capable of changing the atmosphere, splitting atoms, and walking on the moon existed for a brief moment before vanishing. And that is the strange part. Humanity often sees itself as the destination, the final chapter, the point of the story. But from the perspective of Earth, we are not the destination. We are an event. One chapter among billions of years of chapters. Dinosaurs ruled for over 150 million years. Our entire civilization is only a few thousand years old. The age of smartphones, airplanes, and the internet occupies less time than a blink of an eye on the geological clock. So imagine yourself once more as the last human alive, standing in a silent city, looking up at a sky full of stars, knowing that every song ever sung, every book ever written, every dream ever dreamed exists only in your memory. You would finally understand something that is easy to forget while surrounded by billions of people. Civilization is not a building. It is not a country. It is not technology. Civilization is people. Remove the people, and the last human alive would not witness the end of the world. They would witness something far stranger. They would witness the realization that the world was never ours to begin with. Long before us, Earth spun beneath alien skies. Long after us, it will continue spinning beneath new ones. The oceans do not need us. The forests do not need us. The mountains do not need us. We are temporary visitors on a very old planet. And perhaps the most humbling thought of all is this. If you were the last human alive, the world would not end when you took your final breath. The birds would still sing the next morning.